In this session, we discuss about major histocompatibility complex, known as MHC in short. The human body is capable of distinguishing between self and non-self. The immune surveillance system, it keeps moving in the whole body 24 hours a day, and it keeps checking the molecular presentation of the cells of the body. If the surface antigens or the molecular presentation of the cells is identified as self by the immune system, then it will not mount any immune response against them. But whenever the immune system identifies the surface antigens as foreign, then it will mount an immune response against those cells. So this distinction between self and non-self is a major determining criteria for the immune surveillance system. This is how our body's own cells are protected and not destroyed by the immune system, and only the foreign structures are destroyed. To understand the major histocompatibility complex, we first understand what is antigen presentation. In this figure, dendritic cell is shown and a pathogen is shown, bacterial pathogen with an antigen, red colored antigen on its surface. Now what happens in antigen presentation? The dendritic cell sees the pathogen, it identifies the pathogen and engulfs the pathogen in the cytoplasm, and after taking in the pathogen inside, the dendritic cell will break it down into smaller pieces, and the small peptide fragments of the antigen will be presented on its surface to the T helper cells. And once this presentation is seen by the T helper cells, they will get activated and do consequential actions. Now what happens inside the dendritic cell as it is breaking down the antigen? So in this figure, the cytoplasm of the dendritic cell is shown. The antigen is taken in by the dendritic cell and it is engulfed inside a vesicle in the cytoplasm. Inside the vesicle, the antigen is broken down into small pieces, small peptide fragments of the antigen. And at the same time, there is another vesicle in the cytoplasm in which major histocompatibility complex antigens are being synthesized. MHC molecules are being synthesized in another vesicle. Now both these vesicles will fuse gradually, and as the vesicles fuse, the MHC molecules, they will bind with the peptide fragments of the antigen and present them on the surface of the cell. So this presentation on the cell surface is shown to the T helper cells. So MHC molecules synthesized inside the cytoplasm will present the peptide fragments of the antigen on the surface of the cell. Now, major histocompatibility complex is a set of molecules displayed on the cell surface, and it has two major roles. One is antigen presentation, as we saw just now. The MHC molecule was presenting the antigenic fragments on the surface of the dendritic cell. That is antigen presentation. And another function of MHC molecules is to identify lymphocytes, is to identify the cells of the body as self. The distinction between self and non-self is done by the MHC molecules, and whenever the MHC molecules, they see any structure with a foreign antigen, then they will mount an immune response against them. The class 1 and class 2 MHC molecules belong to a group of molecules known as immunoglobulin gene superfamily, which includes immunoglobulins, T cell receptors, CD4, CD8 and others. Now several definitions with respect to major histocompatibility complex. What are histocompatibility antigens or transplantation antigens? Antigens on the tissues and cells that determine their rejection or acceptance when grafted between two genetically distinct individuals of the same species. These are histocompatibility antigens. Now here we need to understand one concept. We know that in blood transfusion, ABO blood group system is there, RH blood group system is there, right? And we also know that in ABO blood group and RH blood group, any person who is given blood donation from a compatible donor, then only that blood is accepted, otherwise the blood will be rejected. It is because of a different type of antigen on the cell surfaces that is rejected by the immune system. So in blood transfusion, ABO blood group and RH blood group are important factors determining the acceptance or rejection of blood transfusion. There are other blood groups also, but not all the blood groups are important or significant in determining the acceptance or rejection of blood transfusion. ABO and RH are major factors, so they are tested and they are considered during blood transfusion. Similarly, there are different types of receptors on the surface of the cells in the body, and not all the receptors will be significant or important during transplantation, but there will be certain antigens which interfere during transplantation and which need to be considered for compatibility. So these antigens are known as histocompatibility antigens or transplantation antigens. So whenever a transplant is done, these antigens, they will check if compatibility is there or not, and if there is incompatibility of the antigens, then the immune system will reject that transplanted organ or tissue. So these are known as histocompatibility antigens. They are basically cell surface antigens or cell surface molecules which determine whether the grafted tissue will be accepted or rejected. If they are similar to the host antigens, then they will be accepted. If they are not similar to the host antigens, then they will not be accepted. Now, out of these histocompatibility antigens, those which are significantly important in determining acceptance or rejection are known as major histocompatibility antigens, or MHC in short. Histocompatibility antigens that cause a very strong immune response and are most important in rejection are the major histocompatibility antigens. Now, what is MHC complex? Group of genes on a single chromosome encoding the MHC antigens is known as MHC complex. Now, the MHC has been given different names in different species. In the human beings, the MHC is known as HLA, or human leukocyte antigen. It is known as human leukocyte antigen because it was first discovered on the surface of leukocytes. In mouse, the MHC antigens are known as H2 antigens. Similarly, in other species, in different species, the MHC antigens have been given different names. Now, what is the location of the genes that code for the MHC antigens? On the short arm of chromosome number 6, there is a region where there are hundreds of genes, and these hundreds of genes, they code for the MHC molecules. There is one region which codes for the class 1 MHC molecules. This region is known as BCA region. It has three portions, B, C and A. Then there is another region which codes for the class 2 MHC molecules. This region is known as the D region. This D region is also divided into three portions, DP, DQ and DR. And a region between the class 1 and class 2 regions codes for the class 3 molecules, and that region is in between the class 1 MHC and class 2 MHC regions. So this is the gene location of MHC molecules, chromosome 6. There are several hundred genes in this group, and these hundreds of genes, they will code for different protein, different components of the MHC system. There are about 40 different MHC class 2 molecules known, and about 80 different class 1 MHC molecules known till now. And when you combine MHC1 and MHC2 in different combinations, then there will be lots of varieties of MHC1 MHC2 combinations present, and every person has a unique MHC combination profile. So MHC1 and MHC2 in every individual is unique, and that individual can give transplant to another individual of the same MHC type, because if the MHC type is different in the host, then there will be rejection of the tissue. Now, what is the location of MHC1 and MHC2 on different cells of the body? MHC1 molecules are present on almost all the cells of the body except the neurons, on the T cells, B cells, macrophages, dendritic cells, granulocytes, endothelium, hepatocytes, etc. Except neurons, on most of the cells of the body, MHC1 molecules are there. While MHC2 molecules are not present on all the cells of the body, they are present only on the antigen presenting cells, that is the T cells, B cells, macrophages and dendritic cells. Now let us have a look at the structure of MHC1 molecule. The MHC1 molecule has two polypeptide chains. One is alpha chain and another one is beta chain. The alpha chain has three portions: alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3, and the beta chain is a beta 2 microglobulin. Now the alpha 1 and alpha 2 regions of the alpha chain, they join together to form a groove, and this groove is known as the peptide binding groove. In this groove, the antigenic peptides, the antigenic fragments, they will bind in this groove between alpha 1 and alpha 2. The groove consists of 8 beta plated sheets on the bottom and 2 alpha helices making up the sides, and the peptides in the groove remain bound for the life of the class 1 molecule and is typically 8 to 9 amino acids in length. Now here again the structure of MHC1 molecule is shown. The alpha chain having three portions: alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3, the beta 2 microglobulin chain, and on this side a thread-like diagram of MHC1 structure is shown. In that thread-like diagram, alpha 1 and alpha 2 are shown on the upper side and alpha 3 on the lower side, and the beta 2 microglobulin in green color also on the lower side. Just observe that between alpha 1 and alpha 2 there is a groove, and in that groove there is a pink colored thread-like structure. This pink colored thread-like structure is the peptide of the antigen bound in the groove meant for binding of the peptide. So the peptide binding groove is located between alpha 1 and alpha 2, where the antigenic peptides will bind. Similarly, MHC2 has a structure. MHC2 has two chains, two polypeptide chains, alpha chain and beta chain. The alpha chain has two portions, alpha 1 and alpha 2, and the beta chain has two portions as well, beta 1 and beta 2. The alpha 1 and beta 1 portions on the upper side, they are joining to form a peptide binding groove similar to MHC1. And on the side, when you see the figure which is showing the thread-like structure of the MHC2 molecule, the lower side yellow portion is alpha 2, the upper side yellow portion is alpha 1, the lower side green portion is beta 2, and the upper side green portion is beta 1, and between alpha 1 and beta 1 there is a groove, and inside that groove a pink color structure can be seen, that is the peptide, antigenic fragment, peptide of the antigen. Now let us have a look how these MHC molecules present the antigens to the T cells. An exogenous bacterium is shown here. The exogenous bacterium is engulfed by the antigen presenting cells, and the antigen presenting cell will break down the bacterium antigen into various pieces, and small pieces of the antigen will be presented by the antigen presenting cell along with MHC molecules on its surface. The antigen presenting cell will present with MHC2 to the T helper cells. The receptor on T helper cells corresponding to this MHC2 is the T cell receptor. So the combination becomes T helper cell with TCR or T cell receptor binding with MHC2 molecules on the antigen presenting cell. Similarly, when an endogenous antigen is there like a virus, then that virus will be broken down into particles, and these particles will be presented by the cell or the target cell of the body on the surface coupled with MHC1, and this presentation is shown to the cytotoxic T lymphocyte. The cytotoxic T lymphocyte has T cell receptor which binds with the MHC1 molecule. So in this figure we can see two presentations. One is antigen presenting cell and T helper cell, both are binding. The receptors on them are MHC2 and T cell receptor. The other presentation is a target cell with MHC1 binds with the cytotoxic T lymphocyte with T cell receptor. So the thing to understand here is that an endogenous antigen might be fragments of viral proteins or tumor proteins, and such antigens are presented coupled with MHC1 molecules to the cytotoxic T cells. And once the cytotoxic T cells identified this presentation, then it will destroy the target cell which contains the antigenic fragments. And exogenous antigens are generally presented coupled with MHC2 molecules to the helper T cells. And helper T cells, once they are activated, they will activate the B cells to form antibodies against the antigen. So remember that endogenous antigens are generally presented by MHC1 to cytotoxic T cells, and exogenous antigens are generally presented by MHC2 to the helper T cells. Now, class 1 MHC molecules and class 2 MHC molecules, they have several differences in between them. One difference is that class 1 MHC molecules are present on almost all the cells of the body except the neurons, while class 2 MHC molecules are present only on the antigen presenting cells of the body. Second difference is class 1 molecules present antigens to the cytotoxic T cells, while class 2 molecules present the antigens to the helper T cells. Third difference is that class 1 molecules present endogenous antigens, while class 2 molecules present exogenous antigens. Now, the MHC molecules will bind with T cell receptor on the surface of the T cells. Now, what is the structure of the T cell receptor? The T cell receptor also has two chains, alpha chain and beta chain. The alpha chain has two portions, variable region of alpha chain and constant region of alpha chain, and beta chain has two portions, variable region of beta chain and constant region of beta chain. Now, both the constant regions, they will remain same, but the variable regions, they will keep changing. And as there are variations in the variable region, then different varieties of T cell receptors are formed because of changes in the variable region. And along with the T cell receptor, CD3 receptor is also there on the adjacent, and it will also participate in antigen presentation. Now just have a look at this figure. T cell, CD4 T cell, it has T cell receptor on its surface, CD3 receptor also along with that, और सामने है antigen presenting cell which has MHC2 coupled with the antigen. So antigen presenting cell is presenting antigen along with the MHC2 to the helper T cell. And in another figure, T cell, CD8 receptor, T cell receptor and CD3 receptors are shown, and on the target cell MHC1 is shown, which is combined with the antigen. So the target cell here is presenting the antigen coupled with MHC1 and presenting it to the cytotoxic T cell or CD8 T cell. Now, what are the functions of MHC? The two major functions of MHC are that it will present the antigens to the T cells, right? That is antigen presentation. And second function is to identify self and non-self. Whenever the MHC identifies non-self structures, it presents them for digestion by the T cells. And whenever it identifies as self, it will not mount an immune response against them. So these are two major functions of the major histocompatibility antigens. Now T helper cells with CD4 molecules identify antigens presented by MHC2, and cytotoxic T cells with CD8 molecules identify molecules presented by the MHC1. What are indications of HLA typing? HLA typing means to determine the HLA type of the person, to determine which MHC1 and MHC2 molecules are there in the person. Because when MHC1 and MHC2 are determined, then we can transplant donor tissue of a compatible donor to the host, and it will not be rejected. If we transplant an incompatible tissue, then it will be rejected. So determining the HLA type of a person becomes important for transplantation. Then paternity determination for anthropological surveys, for studying association between HLA and several diseases. It has been found that ankylosing spondylitis is associated with HLA-B27, and some other diseases also have been found connected with HLA types like rheumatoid arthritis, Retter's syndrome, Graves' disease, celiac disease, etc. have been associated with some particular HLA types. Now HLA typing can be done to determine class 1 and class 2 HLA molecules. Several tests are available. For class 1 MHC molecules, HLA A, B and C of the BCA region, they are determined by the complement dependent cytotoxic reaction, and class 2 molecules are determined by the mixed leukocyte reaction. Now what is MHC restriction? MHC restriction means class 1 MHC molecules will present antigens only to cytotoxic T lymphocytes which have CD8 receptor, and class 2 MHC molecules will present antigens only to helper T cell which has CD4 receptors. इधर का उधर नहीं होगा, उधर का इधर नहीं होगा, जिसका जो कॉम्बिनेशन है वो उसको ही प्रेजेंट करेगा. दैट इज कॉल्ड MHC restriction. So class 1 MHC with cytotoxic T lymphocytes and class 2 MHC with helper T lymphocytes. This restriction is known as MHC restriction. And that completes major histocompatibility complex. Thank you.